Good morning, children. How are you? Are you all right? All you are fine then? Yeah. After a long gap, we are going to continue the lesson. Understand? And today we are going to see about the India's foreign policy. It is civics fourth lesson. The government has allotted the syllabus for us, and for this week they gave the portion that is India's foreign policy. That only we are going to see in this lesson. Understand? And you just those who are having the book, you take along the book with the notebook, page number 269. Okay. This India's foreign policy after when we got our independence in 1947, 15th August 1947 we got independence, and when we got a republic in 26th in 26th January, yes, very good, 1950 we got the republic. Who is the first prime minister? Our first prime minister of free India, yeah, was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And who was our first president? Our first president was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Okay, that all from the lower classes we know all these. We studied all these from lower classes. So now today we are going to see about the foreign policy of India. What are the foreign policy? Foreign policy, it seems that the policy which we concluded with other countries. Understand? India's foreign policy in the sense India's agreement, India's act, what we can say, India which is concluding the treating allies treaties and all. So all these we are going to study in this lesson, that is called as India's foreign policy. Yeah, India's foreign policy based on what we can say, that is peaceful coexistence. That we all know India is a democratic country and India is a peace-loving country. Is it not? Yeah, that India is a peace-loving country, and this India's country, this India, it should follow, it wanted to follow the peaceful coexistence with other countries. That we know that the great First World War, it happened in 1914 and ended in 1918, and the Second World War, it started in 1939 and ended in 1945. Okay, so after the First World War, a great organization was formed. It was called as League of Nations, but it was a failure because the Second World War was started. So the League of Nations was a failure for some existence and for some instant. Understand? We studied in the first chapter the Great World War, and this after the Second World War, which occurred from 1939 to 1945, ended in 1945. And why these war? There are many wars they occurred among the world countries, but specifically these two wars are called as World War. Why? Because many of the nations of Europe, especially the countries in Asia, the continent, and the countries in African continent, many countries, they participated in these wars, First World War as well as in the Second World War. Understand? Especially in the Second World War, that was much disasters has happened. Many people, they lost their life, and many countries, they were destroyed. And because of the ammunition, that is of the atom bomb, which was dropped by America on Japan, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, that and all we can see in the Second World War. Understand? By the end of the Second World War. So, many places were destroyed by the end of the Second World War. So, all the nations, the leaders of the countries, they wanted to follow peaceful coexistence, and they wanted to not wage, and any other war should not occur. They decided and they started the great UNO. UNO means what? Very good. United Nations Organization. This is called the peace-loving organization, which is to follow peace, the peaceful coexistence among all the nations, the friendly, understand? All the nations should follow the friendship with other nation, and no other nation should wage any war on other nation. That and all, they followed many treaties, Treaty of Versailles after the First World War. Then after the Second World War also, many treaties were concluded, many agreements were concluded among the world countries. Understand? By the end of the First World War, Great Britain became the first, emerge as a great nation, this Great Britain and America. But after the First World War, this Russia and America, Soviet Union, we can say USSR, United Soviet Socialist Republic, that is called as Russia. Understand? So this Russia and the Soviet Union, or else it is called as Soviet Union, and USA is called as America, United States of America. These two nations become the great powers by the end of the First World War. So these two great nations emerge at blocks, two blocks, we can say. What are the two blocks? One is USA and another one is USSR. So these nations become two superpowers after the First World War. So many nations, many countries, they started to what we can say join with USA, as well as some countries they wanted to join this USSR, this Russia. Understand? This is America. USA means America, that you all know. And this is Russia. So many of the world countries, they wanted to join with America and as well as Russia. But some countries, they followed neutrality. Understand? They did not join with America as well as this Russia. The first nation which followed the it is called as non-alignment. Non-alignment means we are not following, we are not joining either America or Russia. Understand? That is called as non-alignment. So India followed that, one of the foreign policy. India followed the foreign policy, non-alignment. Another policy India followed is called as Panchsheel. Panchsheel means Panch. Panch means 5. Okay. Sheel means agreement, order, issues. So it is called as Panchsheel. This Panchsheel was originated in India. It's given by a great leader, a great the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, so that we are going to see now, and in all the aspects, many nations they joined with the USA and the USSR. They are called as bilaterally, then trilaterally. Bilateral means what? 2. Trilaterally, tri means 3, and multilaterally. Okay, so many countries they joined, but our country, it did not join with any other countries, and it did not made any agreement with USA and USSR. தனியா USA கூட, தனியா USSR கூட, ரஷ்யா கூட எந்த அக்ரிமெண்ட்டும் நம்ம பண்ணல. Understand? We concluded agreement with all the nations of the world. எதுலெல்லாம் நம்ம அக்ரிமெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம்? many agreements we did, many ambassadors, வெளியுறவுத்துறை அமைச்சர், foreign அம்பாசிடர் ஃபாரின் அஃபேர்ஸ் எல்லாம் பார்க்குறதுக்கு. ஜப்பானுக்கு ஃபாரின் மினிஸ்டர் ஒருத்தர் இருப்பார். ஹீ இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் ஃபாரின் மினிஸ்டர், ஃபாரின் அம்பாசிடர். தென் அமெரிக்காவுக்கு ஒருத்தர் இருப்பார். தென் ரஷ்யா, தென் சைனா, தென் England, Great Britain. So for each and every country we have foreign ambassadors. Understand? And foreign aid, we are getting foreign aid from other countries and we are giving a foreign aid to other countries. And international trade and armed forces. So all these we have agreement with all the nations, not only with America and Russia. Understand? And now the basic objectives of our foreign policies are why we are the foreign policy, we are following the foreign policy, that we'll see now. The basic objects, India's foreign policy, the basic objectives are national security, and second one national prosperity, and the third one increasing the number of friendly nations and fourth one world peace, achieving world peace, and fifth one is the economic development. So these are the 5 objectives of India's foreign policy. What are the 5 objectives of India's foreign policy? One by one will you say, children? Yeah, national security, national prosperity, then this increasing the number of friendly nations, and world peace, and economic development. Okay, now we are going to see the Panchsheel. We followed the great policy, it was called as Panchsheel. Understand? This Panchsheel, Panch means 5, already I told you. Sheel means virtues, acts. Understand? And this 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, this Panchsheel, already I told you, this was formulated by this first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Chinese Prime Minister Zhou Enlai. They both were signed this Panchsheel on 28th April 1954. And the 5 principles of Panchsheel, what are they? Abdin keta, you just see in page number 270. I'll read out now. Mutual respect with for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. That we have to give respect with other territories. Understand? இப்போ நம்ம என்ன சொல்வோம், எனக்கு மரியாதை கொடுத்தாதான் நான் உனக்கு மரியாதை கொடுப்பேன் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்வோம். We are expecting others should give respect to us. Is it not? அப்போ மற்றவங்க நம்மளுக்கு ரெஸ்பெக்ட் கொடுக்கணும்னா what we have to do? We have to give respect to others. So the first point for Panchsheel, what is the first objective? That is, we have to give a mutual respect to other territories. Understand? Second one, mutual non-aggression. We should not attack any country. Understand? That is non-aggression. And third one, mutual non-interference. We should not interfere in internal affairs of any country. Is it not? Can you able to follow? இப்போ நம்ம 2 பேரே ஒரு 2 ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸு ஃபைட்டிங் வித் ஈச் அதர், சண்டை போட்டுக்கிறாங்கன்னா நம்ம உள்ள நுழைஞ்சா, ஏய் மைண்ட் யர் ஓன் பிஸ்னஸ், டோன்ட் இன்டர்ஃபியர் இன் மை மேட்டர், லைக் தட் தே வில் சே. ஸோ ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்பே இப்படி இல்லை, பக்கத்து வீடு 2 வீடு நம்ம வீடும், நம்ம பக்கத்து வீட்டில் இருக்கிறவங்க நம்ம ஏதோ ப்ராப்ளம், எனி ப்ராப்ளம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் எதிர்க்கிற ஆப்போசிட் ஹவுஸில் இருக்கிறவங்க வந்து இன்டர்ஃபியர் ஆனால் என்ன சொல்லுவோம், மைண்ட் யர் பிஸ்னஸ், டோன்ட் இன்டர்ஃபியர் இன் ஆர் மேட்டர்ஸ், வில் சால்வ் இட், நாங்கள் அதை தீர்த்துக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு we can say. So, this is one of the Panchsheel, objective of Panchsheel. Can you able to follow then? That is called as we should not interfere in any matters of other countries. That is mutual non-interference. Then fourth one, equality and cooperation for mutual benefits. So we have to give the law that is equal. All the countries are equal. There is no any importance. We are not giving any importance to any country. All the countries are equal. Equality, that is equality and cooperation. Understand? And the last one is peaceful coexistence. That is peace. Peace means, samadhanam. Understand? Amaidi. So we have to follow peace. We have to follow peaceful coexistence with other countries among India. Understand? So these are the 5 virtues, 5 principles of Panchsheel. Say all of you, Panchsheel. Understand? Okay. This Panchsheel was declared in the Bandung Conference. At Bandung, a conference was occurred. In the conference, this Panchsheel policy was declared in the year 1955. Bandung Conference, it is in Indonesia. It occurred in Indonesia. So this is very important. Panchsheel. They will ask you, write a paragraph about Panchsheel. Abdina, you have to write all this. Okay. Now, we will see next one. Basic determinants of foreign policy. What are the basic determinants we are following? First one, our geographical position and the size of the territory. We have to give respect. Already I told you the geographical position of India in location, drainage, in geography first lesson we saw. Understand? So each and every country should follow. We should not go beyond a border level. We should not go beyond the border level to attack any country. Understand? Another one is nation's history, tradition and philosophical basis and natural resources, the compulsion of economic development. We have to work hard to develop our economy. Nowadays, India's economy is in a very lower level because of this corona. All the nations of the world, many nations, they were affected by this corona and this virus, COVID-19. நம்ம கேள்விப்பட்டோம். Many people, they lost their life and many, they lost their employment. Job ella poidichi. Even in India, even Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, many people, they become in poverty line because of COVID-19. Understand? So, we have to work hard to develop our economic condition. Understand? And the political stability and the structure of government, there should be a politics stability. Understand? The government should stable government. The government should have powerful government, democratic government. It should see all the welfare of the people. The government should work only for the welfare of the people. Understand? And military strength and international. So all these are the objectives of India's foreign policy. And in 50s to 60s எப்படி இருந்தது India, that is after the independence, how India was அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் India's this Pandit, I told you that the first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru formulated the policy that is Panchsheel and non-alignment. We did not join either America or USSR, that is Russia, and we followed the peaceful coexistence policy and disarmament policy. Arms எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது, மிலிட்ரியாக யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. That all we followed in 1950s to 60s follow பண்ணோம். The two great nations emerged after the First World War. we saw that is America and Russia, and there was a Cold War between America and Russia. 2 blocks அப்படினு சொல்வாங்க. They will say it as 2 blocks. Okay, so so for that only India did not join with America or Russia. Understand? And the non-alignment, for that only we followed the non-alignment. That non-alignment means we are not joining with any other nation. Understand? We followed neutrality. Understand? Okay, can you able to follow? அதனால தான் என்ன ஆச்சு அப்படின்னு சொன்னால், after the second world war, there was a great cold war between America and Russia. Cold warna அப்படியே war chillன்னு இருந்ததா? Not like that. Understand? And armed forces எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணவே இல்லை. Okay, there was a jealous between the USA, the American friendship countries with the Russian, the countries which joined with Russia. So இந்த ரெண்டு கண்ட்ரீஸ்குள்ளேயே என்னாச்சு, there were many jealous. Understand? நீ ஒரு சேட்டலைட் விட்டியா, உடனே அமெரிக்கா ஒரு சேட்டலைட் அனுப்பிச்சுன்னா உடனே ரஷ்யா will say, oh, I'll do this. உடனே அமெரிக்கா, oh, you send this, உடனே இது ஏதாவது செய்யணும். So like that was called as Cold War. Okay, the Cold War between American countries and the Russian countries. Many treaties were there. அதுதான் NATO, North Asian Treaty many organization we followed. That is NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and CETO, South Asian Treaty Organization, and CENTO, Central Treaty Organization, or Warsaw Pact. So like that many treaties were concluded between this USA and this America and Russian countries. Okay, and next one we are going to see about this in non-aligned movement, which is called as NAM. NAM means non-allied movement. In 1961 we followed the policy in 1961. This non-aligned movement, it was what we coined by, யார் இதை first coin பண்ணா அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா Dr. Krishna Menon. Dr. Krishna Menon, in the speech of United Nations Organization, that is UNOல நடந்த ஒரு கான்ஃபரன்ஸில் in 1953ல this Dr. Krishna Menon, he only coined the non-aligned movement, that is NAM. Understand? And in this non-aligned movement formed by this countries, joining the countries, how many countries were starting? There were 120 countries, they joined with this NAM, and 17 states and 10 international organizations, they joined in this NAM, non-aligned movement, NAM. How many countries they joined? 120 countries they joined, and 17 states and 10 international organizations they joined in this. Understand? The founding fathers of non-aligned movement are many countries. அந்த ஃபார்ம் பண்ணதுக்குன்ட்டு சில லீடர்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க. Understand? அந்த லீடர்ஸ், I'll read out the names. Dr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Tito of Yugoslavia. Say all of you. நான் மிஸ் சொல்ல திருப்பி சொல்கிறீங்களா? Okay, you repeat it to me. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Tito of Yugoslavia, Nasser of Egypt, Sukarno of Indonesia, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. They were the founding fathers of NAM. Can you understand? Okay, who again say? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Tito of Yugoslavia, Very good. Then third யார் பார்த்தோம்? Nasser of Egypt, Sukarno of Indonesia, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. They were the forefathers. That is the former fathers of NAM. And this NAM policy, it wanted to root the peaceful coexistence among the countries. Understand? Especially this USA countries, the friends of USA and the friends of Russia. Understand? They wanted to have the peaceful coexistence, the friendly relations with other countries. And mainly it wanted to stop the test ban treaty, the nuclear test, nuclear weapons எல்லாம் கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்கல்ல. ஸோ அதை நியூக்ளியர்லாம் டெஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்களாம். பாம் எல்லாம் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அப்படியே வெடிக்க வச்சு பார்ப்பாங்க. அப்போ எவ்வளோ லாஸ் எல்லாம் டெஸ்ட்ராய்லாம் ஆகும் இல்லை. அதை பேன் பண்ணுறது தான், தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் நியூக்ளியர் டெஸ்ட் பேன் ட்ரீட்டி, NTBT. தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் NTBT. That is Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Understand? And what we can say, this what India said, we can use this nuclear weapons not for the disasters. Understand? Disaster, what we can say, needs only for the peaceful purposes. We can use nuclear weapons or armed forces only for the peaceful purposes. Understand? Not for the disasters, because Second World War முடிஞ்ச உடனே we saw many disasters, many people they lost their life, many people were wounded, many they lost their job, economic unemployment problem, many nations were destroyed. Understand? இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பார்த்து ரொம்ப நம்ம லீடர்ஸ் எல்லாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டாங்க. அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? ஆஃப்டர் த செகண்ட் வேர்ல்டு வார். ஸோ அதனால தான் தே ஃபாலோட் த NAM. ஓகே. And next what we can see, so many countries also, we saw that 120 countries, they started to follow this NAM, and many countries, they become neutral. Understand? Neutral. And after this only, this USSR, இப்போ நம்ம பார்த்தோம்ல USSR இருக்குல்ல, இந்த USSR, it was abolished. Understand? This USSR was fell down, and Soviet Union, Soviet Russia அப்படின்ற நேம் வந்தது. அதுக்கு முன்னாடிலாம் இதை எப்படி சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா USSR அப்படி தான் சொல்லுவோம். பட் இன் 1990ல the great USSR, in 1990ல USSR அது என்னவாச்சு? Soviet Russia. It has called as Soviet Russia. Understand? And the liberalization, privatization and globalization, this is very important, children. You have to follow this. Liberalization, privatization, privatization and globalization. So these three emerge. Say all of you, liberalization, privatization and globalization. It was emerged among the powers. Understand? And many countries, bilateral, trilateral, multilateral, I told you, no, they followed this. And many India's policy manifested in various ways, such as என்னென்ன ways எல்லாம் நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா, better relations with China, the Look East policy. The policy, it was called as Look East policy. Understand? Another policy, the second nuclear test at Pokhran. Understand? Pokhran in Rajasthan. And the third one, defense procurement relationship with Israel. Then fourth one, energy diplomacy with Arab countries. We have countries, Arab country, many Arab countries are there. நம்ம Muslim countries எல்லாம் பார்க்குறோம். Dubai, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, many Arab countries are there. Understand? and Israel and agreeing to US nuclear missile defense and India's vote against Iran at International Atomic Energy Agency. So these are the what we can say various India's ways that you can see in page number 271. And India's in the resurgent 21st century நம்ம எப்படி இருந்தோம்னா we are always adjusting with other nations in all matters. First of all, India's policy is we are adjusting in all the ways, in all the matters with other nations. And second one, India is engaging all the developing policies with other nations. Understand, transport இருக்கலாம், trade இருக்கலாம், communication இருக்கலாம், industries இருக்கலாம், agriculture இருக்கலாம், whatever the departments, whatever the whatever the departments we can say. Understand, India, it wanted to have adjust with others, it engaging with other countries. அதை நம்ம பார்த்தோம். Then especially நம்ம படிச்சிருக்கோம், இதுக்கு முன்னாடியே நம்ம படிச்சிருக்கோம், that is India is G20 policy. G20 policy, that is new global groups like the group of 20, that is called as G20 policy. G20 அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Another one is BRIC, BRICS, BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Understand? BRICS. BRICS na enna countries? All these countries. What are the countries? Brazil, BRICS, B, Brazil, R, Russia, I, India, C, China, S, South Africa. All these 5 countries are the BRICS. Understand? They joined together and they formulated the BRICS. That is the mutual cooperation with other nations, mutual understanding with other nations. Understand? And India's basic concepts of foreign policy. What are the basic concepts? Abdina? It is the preservation of national interest, achievement of world peace, disarmament, fostering cordial relationship with other countries, solving conflicts by peaceful means, independence of thought and action as per the principle of NAM, equality in conducting international relations, and anti-colonialism, anti-imperialism, and anti-racialism. Anti in the sense opposite. Colonialism இருக்கக்கூடாது. We should not attack any other country. நம்ம பார்த்தோம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வேர்ல்டு வார் முன்னாடிலாம் இம்பீரியலிசம். One country, it attacked another country. It is called as imperialism. அதான் colonization, colonialism. அது இருக்கக்கூடாது. Anti-imperialism இருக்கக்கூடாது. Can you able to follow? Anti-racialism, race. South African people are black people. And European people, white people. So, on the race, color, அதான் apartheid South Africa வந்துச்சு. Understand? So, we should not follow. So, அது anti uncle, not ANTI. Anti means opposite. Opposite to colonialism, opposite to imperialism, opposite to racialism. So, these are the basic concepts of India's foreign policy. Understand? And we followed that 2 themes of India's nuclear doctrine, that is no first use. எந்த நியூக்ளியர் டெஸ்ட்டுமே இந்தியா won't use first. நம்ம எதையுமே டெஸ்ட் பண்ண மாட்டோம் அப்படின்றது, தட் இஸ் நோ ஃபஸ்ட் டெஸ்ட். அது இந்தியாஸோட ஃபஸ்ட்டு தீம். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் credible minimum deterrence. That is India's what we can say, all the, I told you, all the weapons, armed forces, defense forces, everything should be only for the peaceful purpose, not disaster, offensive purpose. Offensive காக நம்ம எதுவுமே யூஸ் பண்ண மாட்டோம். Understand? For the developing purpose only we can use it. So these are about. Another thing, another one is SAARC. 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 SAARC means South Asian Association Regional Cooperation. What is SAARC, you say? South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. That is called as SAARC. Understand? In this SAARC, how many countries are there? 8 countries are there in this SAARC. How many countries are there? 8 countries. What are the 8 countries? அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோன்னா ஆப்கானிஸ்தான், பங்களாதேஷ், 9th நீங்கள் படிச்சிருக்கீங்க, 8th நம்ம படிச்சிருக்கோம் SAARC. ஓகே, ஆப்கானிஸ்தான் 1, Bangladesh 2, India 3, Nepal 4, Bhutan 5, Maldives 6, then Pakistan 7 and Sri Lanka 8. So these 8 countries, they joined together and they formed this SAARC. இது எதுக்காக அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் for the the communication and for trade relationship, for transport, for all the mutual, understand, for this conception we started this SAARC. Okay, and this SAARC disaster management, it was started in New Delhi. And this SAARC together, இவங்கெல்லாம் சேர்ந்து தான் ISRO, that is International this Indian Space Research Organization. It was also occurred by this SAARC. Okay, now we are going to see next thing is contemporary contacts with India's foreign policy. That is India, always we are supporting our neighbors. Understand? We are supporting our neighboring countries. We are supporting our frontiers, the frontier countries. India, it is supporting Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Burma, Sri Lanka, Nepal. Understand? எல்லா country கூடயும் we are conducting, we are agreement எப்படி போட்டிருக்கோம், peaceful coexistence, mutual benefits, for the mutual benefits, not selfishness. செல்ஃபிஷ் இருக்கக்கூடாது, மியூச்சுவல் பெனிஃபிட்ஸ். அண்ட் இது எதுக்காக அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் there are 5 things. என்னென்ன? bridging diplomacy and development, that is the partnership with other nation, first one. Second one this. Third one, a gradual transition from look east to act east policy. look east in ஈஸ்டர்ன் கண்ட்ரிஸ் இருக்காங்களா, ஜப்பான், அந்த பிலிப்பைன்ஸ், அந்த ஈஸ்டர்ன் கண்ட்ரீஸில் இருக்கவங்களாம் நம்ம கூட இருக்கிற அந்த நார்த் ஈஸ்டர்ன் கண்ட்ரி, நம்மளோட நார்த் ஈஸ்டர்ன் ஸ்டேட்ஸ் எல்லாம் என்ன, அசாம், பர்மா, அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், அவங்கெல்லாம் கூட இந்த இந்தோனேஷியா, மலேசியா, அவங்க கூடலாம் கான்டாக்ட் வச்சுக்கிறதுக்காக. அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? அண்ட் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் என்ன அப்படின்னா, த 3 பிக் எலிமெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபார் திஸ் ஏஷியன் கண்ட்ரிஸ் என்னென்ன அப்படின்னா, கனெக்டிவிட்டி, commercial and security related. And the third one, for the economic development. For what purpose we followed this அப்படின்னு கேட்டால், for the economic development, all the nations economic development, we are following this. And what we can say, India as a leading power, அதான் G20 நம்ம பார்த்தோம், இந்த G20, and India is one of the member in BRICS we saw. Understand? So these are the policies, foreign policies of India. And India's domestic policy, foreign policy அப்படின்னா, இந்தியாஸ் டொமஸ்டிக் பாலிசி, இந்தியாக்குள்ளே இருக்கிற ஸ்டேட்ஸ்க்கு நம்ம டெவலப்மெண்ட் பண்ணுறது இந்தியாஸ் டொமஸ்டிக் பாலிசி. இந்தியாஸ் ஃபாரின் பாலிசின்றது பிட்வீன் இந்தியா அண்ட் வித் அதர் நேஷன்ஸ். It is called as India's foreign policy. So these are all about foreign policies. And conclusion என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா, India is a diplomatic, formal diplomatic relations with other countries, and we are having peaceful alliances with other countries. And நம்மளோட strength எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, it is depth. Understand? India, UNOLA, we are giving many advices even to UNO to solve the problems. அதான் நிறைய அச்சீவ்மெண்ட்லாம் நம்ம பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? வி ஆர் கிவிங் அட்வைசஸ் டு த யுஎன்ஓ, அண்ட் இட் இஸ் இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் ஷுட் பி பெர்மனண்ட். அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? நம்ம எல்லாருக்கூடையும் நம்ம பெர்மனண்ட் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறோம். and we are one of the member of the United Nations organization. Even Vijayalakshmi Pandit, the sister of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, she was one of the, what we can say, leader in the General Assembly, president in the General Assembly. General Assembly is one of the organ in the UNO. அவங்களாம் அவ்வளோ பெரிய பதவிங்களை நம்ம இந்தியன்ஸ் இருந்திருக்காங்க.